Why black people gotta die at the hands of white people?
No, but George Floyd was different. Understand something. When George Floyd was murdered, it was the same time the pandemic hit, which is why Derek Chauvin is where he is today. Because we all got a chance to sit back, watch it. Right? We all had time on our hands to see it. That's why his death is much different. It's not different, but it's different.
No.
It's like it's hard for me to say.
It's a whole separate point that I do think America as a whole, black people need to sit back and watch, and white people need to pay the fuck attention to. You had a global pandemic, shut your world down. And in America, it shut your economy down, stopped your country, stopped your kids from going to school, stopped people from going to church, and stopped you from going to work. You had to sit in the fucking house. Then you have the shit that black people been telling you is going on for years.
Yeah.
You see it happen, but it doesn't just get reported on the news. It's not word of mouth. It's not in the newspaper. It's not an article you're going to read. It's on fucking camera. And then everybody in the world had to stop and watch 10 minutes of a white cop killing a black man.
Yeah.
And
it's very different than
they had
being in normal ops where you catch it on the 5 o'clock news and it flies by. And it's like, damn, that's fucked up.
Overall,
you actually had an opportunity to let that joint marinate. And it really, that's why they burn every fucking city up in America.
So at what point, be it Kamala, Biden, whoever the fuck is there, cracker, racist ass Mitch McConnell, or fucking cardboard ass Mitt Romney, or AOC, or whoever it's going to be.
What the fuck is cardboard?
That's what that motherfucker is. He's a cardboard cutout. Whatever it's going to be. Somebody got to sit down and say, this shit is different. Mm-hmm. We had to sit down and watch a black man be murdered. And then a year later,
Maxine Waters said it. She
said,
you gotta get more confrontational. They ain't like that shit.
But 1 year later, then the trial happens.
Yeah.
And you see a white cop go away for some shit white cops generally don't go away for.
Wait a minute. We got to hold up. I mean, it's May 4th, and we don't have his sentencing yet. He booked.
He in there.
But
they should just put him in gym pop and not worry about it. Say, if you could survive gym pop for 2 years, you can get out.
No, he can't survive 2 days.
No.
In there.
But that's what they should do with his crack ass.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that the judge told him that he can appeal the damn sentence.
Well, I mean, he was looking at it in terms of the law. Like, he said it might be groundworks for your appeal.
You allowed it. But
he said that ain't going to fly right here. Yeah, I don't want you to think that's going to apply here. Maybe something happens for the future for you, but it ain't going to apply here. So don't start looking for it.
It's kind of like he kind of instigated it a little bit. And then the fact that, he doesn't have a prior record. So with Minnesota state law, he can get out in 12 years.
He does, but he doesn't. He doesn't have any criminal things brought against him. However, he has a record of being a dirty motherfucker in the community. So it was easy to believe the bullshit that he did. And not only that, it was recorded. And Will Smith said, nothing that's really changed. It's just being recorded now.
That's all it is.
I agree with him.
The shit is just on camera now.
This shit been happening for a long ass time. Hey man, let's get into these black brands, man.
All right, so
I only wore my Stay True joint today, but I traded it for my bucket for the show. But go out and check my man Smiley out.
Overall, I think we should just, number one, we need to make sure we recognize and mention the brands that we have brought to the forefront already.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Dear friend.
Dear friend.
Yeah.
Detroit style exclusive.
Yep.
Uncle Bobby's.
Uncle Bobby's. Yep.
The Philly John. For the Johns.
For the Johns. Yep. Brought that joint through. And my man Detox. He did a Kappa joint for us. 1911 on the back. Dreamer on the front. So holla at Detox if you want to get one of these joints for all the noobs that's out there.
And please,
all the 25-year noobs. Shout out to the 96 bros.
shout out to Spring 96. The paperwork special.
It's signed right here. Signed the dotted line.
And if you can see this, my shirt does say, "Stay true to the 3/5 podcast."
Yeah.
This is wonderfully designed by our brother who run Stay True to Yourself brand.
Yeah.
They did a little mashup with us.
Yeah.
We got some more shirts coming, so let us know if you want to jump in. All we ask, once you get your shirt,
all we ask is trust.
Take a picture in the shirt and post it. Yeah. Hit us with it. Let us know. We know y'all supporting. We see the views. We see the likes. We see it. Let us know. If you want a shirt, we're going to have them posted on the page.
Can we get some information on this 10-1? 10-1
so
black rum.
We on 10-1 black rum today. Yeah. We had Bull Young
last time.
And we had one more.
Yeah.
Greenwood.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a good joint.
Good one.
I mean, so
you know, and we got a few more black brands that's coming. We're working on some black coffee that's going to be up here. Hopefully the next podcast we get them up here.
I won't release their names, but we've already had some conversations. They will slide something through.
Yeah, man. So just black people, we gotta support us.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
It makes no sense to spend our money outside of our community, and I think those celebrities that are in the forefront of our culture, we got to get them to start rocking black stuff. I think it's happening, but it's a slow shift. So we got to continue to show love.
All right. We'll try to dial it back to something we already talked about.
Yeah.
So, being that we spoke on, just the different experiences of black and white people, and we was talking about it, and especially in terms of George Floyd. Do you have any personal experiences with the police? Negative experiences that stick out?
I've been super personally. I've been
time out. I already know. You gotta put the mic up. You got the joint down.
Can't hear it.
Oh, nigga, you put it down to your lap, and you want to sit back here and talk.
All right, got it.
Let me ask again.
Ready?
Set up. All right. So dialing back to something we already spoke about, talking about social injustice, the different experiences of black people in this country. Do you have any personal experiences with the police, negative experiences that stick out in your head that you could speak on?
I have plenty. And if you're a black man and you don't have them, I'm questioning you. I can think about times where I left my college campus just going to get some food off the late night. I mean, college kids study around the clock. I mean, you might stay up late because you got a test the next day. People like to cram or whatever. We had a Wawa off campus. We also had a Wendy's. Mm-hmm. Well, I got to the Wendy's and the late night drive-thru was closed, so I had to go to the Wendy's. And when I got there, I got in the parking lot, came back out. The cop pulls me over. I said, "What you pulled me over for?" He said, "You look suspicious." How I look suspicious? You went up in the joint.
You black.
You ain't get nothing. So I said, "So what you pulling me over for?" He said, "You got an air freshener hanging from your rear view mirror." I literally called the joint and I called him in like, this is some fuck shit. That shit went nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, you got situations where activity as a black man is not accepted as much as white activity. White people can get together and they can have motherfucking what do you call them, mosh pits, or they can do whatever.
Bonfire,
they can do
all
whatever
types
the
of
fuck
shit
they want to do.
They go tear up
as
shit
soon
when
as
they
you get a
win.
bunch of black people together that's having fun doing some constructive shit, they come and try to insert themselves. And so Me being from Philly, they've showed up on South Street where we've tried to hang out and get some food, have some drinks, do us. Me being Greek, we had the Philly Greek Fest. They showed up and they bust that up. They didn't understand that you had thousands of black people who were about something that have been in college or whatever, and they came and they bust that up. You know what I mean? And so, like, I've continued to deal with this, I would call it trauma. You always got to be looking over your shoulder as to what's big brother think about what you're doing. And me, I went to a PWI. It's a little bit different than you. Going to an HBCU, and you always had to be looking over. I've been called a nigger by campus safety. That is absolutely ridiculous, bro. There was nothing done about that. Nobody was ever fired
because they was just doing their job.
They just doing their job, bro. So a lot of stuff, man. And the issue for us is, why do we gotta keep chalking it up? Why do we gotta keep not saying nothing? That's why we burn your damn cities down.
Take it right on the chin, and we gotta keep moving.
Right. We sick of that.
I was leaving. This when I was at Wesley College. Me and my line brother was driving home. This before we pledged. Riding back to Jersey. One of our other homies who played football was in the back seat. And we just leaving college. All we got in the car is some homework and dirty clothes. We going back home. My LB was speeding. Cop pulls him over on the side of the road. All right. We knew he was speeding. We started laughing like, yo, you just got caught. Pulls over the side of the road. As the cop is walking up to the car, his hand is on his gun. We see this out the window and we like, oh shit, we looking through the mirror. It's about to go down. Let me see your hands. Our hands is up, dashboard, steering wheel, everything. We like, why is your hand on your gun? What do you have in the car? What do college students have in a fucking car?
College shit.
That's one experience. Many moons ago, probably 10, 11 years ago, I was down in D.C.
More than that.
Probably more than that.
You think you younger than you are.
I was out here kicking it at Harold's birthday party at Toscana West. Had a bunch of drinks, kicked it, partied all night, slept it off at the hotel. Me, two of my chapter bros leaving out. I got to drop one of them off in Delaware. I got to drop another one off in Philly. Then I'm going home. We on 50. Car in front of me is speeding. I'm going right behind him. We both doing the same. He going a little bit faster than me. I'm like, all right, we out. Yeah. Cop sitting on the side.
Up with the traffic, yeah.
He get me.
Yeah.
Pull me over. I said, yo, boy in front of me was going fast. We said, yeah, but I got you. All right. I get pulled out the car. He said, yo, you know your license is suspended. Why? You had a speeding ticket in Pennsylvania that you didn't pay. Like, I forgot. Come to find out, they had sent me the ticket in the mail. And I had moved. So it didn't get forwarded to my new address. I said, I ain't know. But, whatever. He's arresting me. Pulls me out the car, putting cuffs on me. Well, he pulled me out the car and said, you got a ticket that you didn't pay. Your license suspended. I'm listening to him. He asked me to put my hands on his car so he could check, make sure I had nothing on me. All right, whatever. He tells me that. He pulls out handcuffs and goes to put my arms behind my back. I said, whoa. Motherfucker slammed me on the car down. Now I'm slammed on the hood of the car on the side of 50.
Hey, did you have that same big ass beard?
No.
Oh, because you're a scary motherfucker. Go ahead.
My chapter brothers is in the car still. They looking like, yo, what's going on? Why he going through all this? They searched the car while I was out there on the side of the road. I'm sitting down in handcuffs on the side of the road. They get them out the car. Tell them to stand on the side of 50.
Yeah.
Search the car. We say it's a rental car.
50 in Maryland.
Yeah. Say, only thing in the car is a book bag. My chapter bride had a book bag that just had a change of clothes and some sneakers in it. That's all that's in there. We said it's a rental. We just bought it for this, and we taking it back. You ain't gonna find nothing else in there. They searched my body 3 times. Searched every pocket I had 3 times standing outside. Searched the car 3 times. The sergeant comes up, fucking white man out there. Oh, they said, that's the sergeant. I said, Sergeant, can you tell me what's going on? He looked at me and said, you know what this is. His exact words, you know what this is.
Get down and lay down.
I'm looking at the one black cop out there. It's 4 cops at this point. Yeah. One black cop, and I'm staring him down. He looking at me like a fucking scared little pussy. He just staring at me, watching. Pussy. Ain't say a word, ain't try to do shit, ain't try to intervene, didn't do shit but stand and watch.
Yeah. It just came out the academy, probably.
They take me in to the station. They said, we towing this car to the impound lot. My brothers are sitting there like, yo, he's our ride home. They said, we putting y'all in the cop car. We'll drop you off somewhere. Have somebody come call you and pick you up. They drive them to a 7-Eleven gas station, John. I'm down the station in Greenbelt, Maryland. Don't know where the fuck I'm at. I get there. They put me in a cell. They want to go through everything. They drop them off at the fucking convenience store. Cop pull off. Tell them, call somebody. Guess what happened at the convenience store? Armed robbery.
They robbed it.
Armed robbery. They so busy worried about us.
Yo, it's sad, yo. Sad.
My homie Drew, you know Drew, my best friend. One of my best friends is white, Drew. This is when we was in high school. Drew got a brand new fucking car. He had a brand new Chevy Cavalier at the time, 2-door John. He picks up me and our other homie, Ruben. We going to the bowling alley. That was just about 20 minutes from our crib. We riding through. A cop sitting in the parking lot of a closed store. Pulls Drew over. He tells him, your tail light is out.
Oh, that's one of their favorite Johns.
Drew looks at him and said, because he's believing it. He was like, oh, that's crazy because this car is brand new. I just got it today. Pulls out the paperwork out the glove box. Now the cop know he looked like an asshole.
Yeah, now they got to get themselves out of that way.
Now he got to get himself out of it. So he's standing back. He said, well, hit the brake again. Drew, he said, oh, it's working. Maybe it was just a short circuit. Well, because he had 2 black people.
Yeah.
White boy, 2 black people.
Yeah. What we going to do about police reform? Something got to happen.
Well,
something got to happen.
Police reform needs to happen. Well, first, motherfuckers got to understand where police came from. They got to admit to the history of police. Understand that shit is still prevalent and relevant to this day. Police were only created, the police force was created to catch and harass black people. Slave roundup. Freed people, harass them. That's what the police force was born from. There were no police forces before.
Right.
That's what they were created for. Black people could not be cops.
If you take it out of the mix, let's say you got a single black mom living wherever the hell she lives. You take police out of the mix. That means if somebody's trying to harm her, she don't have anybody to call. Who can she call? If you wanted to defund the police, just call it that.
Well, we got to understand what defunding the police means.
Sure.
Defunding the police don't mean you just taking money away and getting rid of the police. That's bullshit. That's what the motherfuckers on TV want to sell to you. They're saying they don't need as much going to them as they are getting, where you could be giving some of that over to social workers and mental health workers who should be responding to some of this shit. Education should be getting more of that money as well, because they seem to cut education every fucking year. Sure. They got plenty of money for law enforcement and the fucking military.
Keep cutting education. We don't give a shit.
Defunding the police, which they did in Camden, New Jersey. They defunded the police department, told all of them, you're let go.
Yeah.
Now you can reapply for your job, but you also have to have a mandatory psychological evaluation. And there's new training you need to undergo. All of a sudden, the crime rate in Camden went down. Well, how the fuck does that happen?
Let me ask you this, though. Why don't we say what we mean? Why do I got to fight through, you don't really mean defund the police? police.
Because they do mean defund the police. But white people, specifically Republicans and scared fucking Democrats, who are scared to explain that defunding means take the money that's there out, reapply it in a way that is more equitable for the things that... But you can't explain that. You got to tighten it up somehow, some way.
Yeah, but...
The defund is the wrong term, probably.
Well, okay, so what's wrong with saying fund this? You put so much emphasis on taking the money out of the police force, which for the most part means that we're not going to keep creating police officers, right? But you don't say what you do want in that messaging. So this is more of a PR and marketing lesson. And I could think of some people that's probably watching this right now. It's like, yeah, I probably agree with say what you want to happen. What is it that you want funded?
We want
you said what you want defunded, but what do you want funded?
So can you say publicly, I want cops to stop being fuck niggas? You can't say that. Stop harassing black people. They say they don't.
No.
Stop harassing poor people.
No.
They say they don't.
No, but when you say things like that, what I hear you saying is, I want bias training in the police force. Let's say that. Don't say defund the police. Say I want bias training. Say I want police officers to have a college degree.
I want police officers. You should be policing the community you grew up in.
You can't be a chief unless you have a criminal justice degree, right? Like, say what you want. For you to say things like defund the police and don't state the obvious, that you want funding for psychological stuff and behavioral health.
Politician. I don't come up with this shit.
I think a part of that is they want to defund where they make their pension accountable. So there's new laws that they're trying to do. So defunding is a part of taking away their pensions, and they do some fucked up shit. I
don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So I have family members that are on the police force. They good guys, right? They didn't go to college. And I think they should have a goddamn pension, bro. These guys go out. If you're a good cop, you go out and you go, I mean, think about
what is that?
Oh,
it's an oxymoron.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not. The two don't go together.
Can I give you for instance? If you talk about the PAL League, the Police Athletic League in Philly, these are black cops that go out and they end up being basketball coaches in the community, and the kids are the kids that are on the corner. That's now their basketball coach. They give a damn. Why you wouldn't take his pension?
I don't necessarily agree.
He's not harassing them.
I don't agree with the pension.
Look. When he show up in Columbus, Ohio, and see some crazy stuff going on where it's a knife involved and all of that, those are his basketball players. He's not about to pull a gun on them. Why can't he get his pension?
I'm not arguing for the pension. You brought that up. I didn't say that.
He did.
Oh, well.
So I'm addressing.
I look at it like what they should be forced to do is carry their own fucking insurance.
I agree with that.
So when you fuck up, now it's on you.
I agree with that. I agree. We shouldn't say there's no good cops that give a damn about the community.
Well, here's why I say there's no good cops. There's no good cops. There are none.
Hold up.
There's zero good cops.
No, I don't agree with that.
0%.
But
negative.
But where we're from, there's a mandate that you be from the community that you're serving. That is not across the nation.
No, it's not.
So the issue is that I'm not going to shoot you because you're growing up with my son. You've been to my house. I'm not about to shoot you. I see you in some stuff. I want to pull you out of it.
Hold on. You're my fraternity brother. You're my friend. If you're doing some fucked up shit, I'm watching you do some fucked up shit. I'm witnessing it with my own eyes. And I don't step in to stop you, to make an attempt to stop you, to at least say something to you or say something to somebody who's in a position to stop you from doing some fucked up shit to somebody else. I'm just as bad as you are. And these so-called good cops who don't say a fucking word about the shitty cops are just as bad as the others. Because in this situation, this example that I'm using, I have no position of authority. I have no position of power. I have no weapons that I walk around with. I have no deadly force that I can use, that I'm trained to use. And I'd be just as fucked up for not stepping in.
Sure.
So if they have all that shit.
Chauvin.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or so all these so-called good cops, where the fuck are they at saying, hey, you know what? You can't even find a majority of cops that will come out and say, that shit was fucked up.
They don't have deference.
No, what they don't have is dignity.
You can't deal with that.
They don't have no dignity. They don't have no backbone. They don't have no values. They don't have no morals, because what they trade in, especially the black cops who want to be on that white man's police force, they trade all that shit at the door.
Not all of them.
They leave that shit behind.
Not all of them.
Because they tell your black ass, you better shut up when you get here.
Not all of them. But
they tell them you better shut up. They tell 99.5% of them, you better shut the fuck up when you get here. You want to be on this white force?
A lot of them do.
If you so-called good cop,
yeah.
If I'm a good friend, if I'm a good brother, if I'm a good family member, if you at work and you a good employee, you work in healthcare, I've worked in healthcare. If you see a nurse doing some bad shit, your step one is to stop the nurse from doing the bad shit. Sure. Your step two is to be a mandatory reporter. Yeah. And go to somebody who can step in and correct the situation. Right. So how the fuck is it the person who's walking around with a gun, a baton, a taser, a fucking car, and all this other shit, but nobody else wants to say shit?
The small community that I grew up in, right there in Philly, like right outside of Southwest Philly, is very homegrown. All the police went to high school. By the time I was growing up, they all went to high school with my dad. So these are people that he could stand there and have a conversation. Like, there was no, like, I would show up on the scene and just pull my gun out and start shooting people, because I could be shooting my son or my son's friend or my nephew, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had to be from the community. There was an opportunity and space. And not only that, there was voting type of things where there was you had there, the community had influence on who ran the police force. And there was not about to be some white dude in the Jones just like, yo, we're going to shoot these niggas up.
Let me ask you this, though.
It wasn't going to happen.
Let me ask you this.
The community would have had a revolt.
Nurses have the potential to do harm to people.
Absolutely.
Doctors have the potential to do harm to people.
Sure.
Lawyers have the potential to do harm to people.
Sure.
Judges.
Yeah.
Physical therapists, social workers, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists. They all have the potential to do harm, but none of them are walking the fucking streets with deadly weapons on them. So why is it you need all this training and education to do these other fucking jobs, but you could be a dickhead out of high school who used to be a pussy and get beat up all the time, and you can just apply it to the police force, and it's here you go, here's your weapons. Free to fucking harass the world. You're walking around with deadly weapons. You're driving a deadly weapon. You're riding around with weapons on your waist. And you need no education to be a fucking cop outside of high school. How does that make sense?
It doesn't. And that's what pussies do.